What's up, guys? Welcome to the Playbook Sports Podcast. Coming at you with another video today. As you've seen from our previous few videos, we have a new series out, NFL Scripts 2023-2024 season, brought to you by Roger Goodell himself. These are his words, not ours. Not ours. So if you have a problem with them, go holler at Raj for us. With great power comes great responsibility. As you know, Roger Goodell is the judge, jury, and executioner of the NFL. However, he did not trust all of us to have all of these scripts individually, so he's divvied up the 8 divisions amongst the 4 of us guys here on this podcast. He's given me the AFC South and the AFC East. So before we dive into this series and these divisions, Nate, let the people know who this podcast and this video today is brought to you by.
I want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their 2 things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video.
Thanks, Nate. As you guys can tell by the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins and what Roger Goodell and the NFL have scripted for the 2023-2024 season. Let's start at the end. What did the Dolphins finish? Do they make the playoffs? Let's get into it. Final record for the Miami Dolphins, according to Roger Goodell, his words, not mine. 12-5 for your Miami Dolphins in 2023-2024. 4-2 against AFC East opponents, finishing second in the AFC East, securing the 5 seed, being the best wildcard team, playing the worst division winner in the first round of the playoffs. Roger Goodell has 0 NFL honor awards for your Miami Dolphins this season. Tough, but too much to go around for Miami. No one player really stands out above the whole unit success. So let's dive into the home versus road opponents here for your Dolphins in the 23-24 season. They will host the Denver Broncos. They will host the New York Giants. They will host the Carolina Panthers. They will host the Vegas Raiders. They will host the Tennessee Titans. They will host the Dallas Cowboys, and they will host their 3 division opponents, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Bills. Pretty okay home schedule. I'd argue, Broncos and Cowboys, maybe Giants in there, maybe Panthers in there as far as good teams are going to be playing. Titans and Raiders, and yeah, there should be easy work at home. Road games this year, they go to LA to play the Chargers, which could be a home game for the Dolphins. They go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. They go to Washington to play the football team. And they go to Baltimore to play the Ravens, as well as their 3 division opponents, the Patriots, the Bills, and the Jets. The one neutral site game, Nate, I'm sorry. Living in Central Illinois, the one game we could drive to for Nate, who's a huge Dolphins fan, would be when they play at Kansas City against the Chiefs this year. Only problem, that game's in Frankfurt, Germany. We will not be driving to that game. One neutral site game, they play against the Chiefs in Germany in week 9. Let's divvy into the schedule. Let's see what goes on here for Miami. How do they get to 12-5? How do they get to 4-2 in the division? September starts off hot for Miami as they will go to LA and beat the Chargers, a team they lost to last season in LA. They will go to LA and beat the Chargers 27-24 in week 1, and a lot of fireworks in that game. Week 2, they will also stay on the road where they will go to New England and they will beat the Patriots 24-13. First true big defensive showing from new Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator, and his new unit on that defensive side of the ball. Week 3, they will host the Denver Broncos in a Fangio revenge game. Well, they will lock up Sean Payton's offensive mind and Russell Wilson on their route to a 20-13 victory, back-to-back 13-point showings from the Miami Dolphins defense, back-to-back victories, 3 straight, 3-0 in the month of September, 3 best bets, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 in September for your Miami Dolphins. Looking back on it, I'd probably agree 3-0. I could see 2-1 if they lose that first game in LA against the Chargers. I could see the Chargers beating them just with Herbert and then now Kellen Moore as the new offensive play caller there. I could see the Chargers beating the Dolphins in week 1. I'd probably agree or disagree with Raj. I'd say 2-1 at the worst in that month. I think they easily beat the Patriots. I think they beat the Broncos and Miami as well. I'd probably say 2-1. I think they lose to the Chargers, but Roger hasn't beaten the Chargers, and Roger's script is all that matters for this video. 3-0 in September. They see October starting with a trip to Buffalo, where they will lose their first game of the year in week 4, 28-23, and a close game. Just too much Bills, too late in that one. 3-1 after 4 weeks. They return home to face the Giants. Well, they will beat the Giants 31-23 behind four. All four touchdowns in this game for the Dolphins are all passing Tua Tagovailoa, passing touchdowns in week 5 against the Giants, en route to moving to 4-1 on the season. Week 6, they stay at home as well to face the Carolina Panthers. Well, they will win yet again, 23-14 in a defensive struggle, where Vic Fangio was going to box up the number 1 pick and rookie quarterback Bryce Young. Week 7, they go to Philadelphia, and this is where they find their second loss of the season at the hands of Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. 26-21 Eagles, back and forth. Too much Eagles too late in this game as well for your Dolphins, moving to 5-2 after 7 weeks. Week 8, they return home to face the New England Patriots, where they cruise to a 24-17 game. I know it's only one score, but they cruise. It's never that close. 24-17, 6-2 after 8 weeks, 6-2 after the month of October. I think I would take that if I was a Dolphins fan, 6-2. I probably agree. Let's look back at October here. I think they lose in Buffalo. I think they split with the Bills this year. Just each team wins their home game. That's usually how it goes. I think they beat the Giants in Miami. I think they're just a better team all around. For sure, better defense. For sure, better quarterback. That's all that really matters. Probably better head coach. Equal head coaches. I could see them beating the Panthers as well at home. Rookie quarterback against a big Fangio defense could be a tough ask. I could see them losing in Philadelphia to the Eagles too. Just a tough game on the road. Probably going to be in a primetime slot as well. And then at home against the Patriots, I think they sweep the Patriots this year. Spoiler alert. I guess that's actually their second game, so they would have swept the Patriots by this point. 3-2 in the month of October. I think I agree with that. 3-2. I think they lose both to Buffalo and both to Philly. Or both Philly and Buffalo. Sorry, I can't speak. 6-2 after October. I'd probably have them 5-3, but I'd agree 6-2. I could see that if they win one of those road games against the Chargers, Bills, or Eagles. Let's move into November. They start November in Frankfurt against the Chiefs, as previously mentioned. Well, they will lose in week 9, 30-27 in overtime in a shootout in overtime against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Great game for the fans in Germany. That's a game they want to see overseas. They do not want to see Titans, Ravens, or any Texans games overseas. Then, week 10, they return home for their bye week, much needed after the travel. Not so much needed after a loss because, hey, the loss to the Chiefs at the end of the day is not the worst thing in the world. 6-3 going to the bye week, week 10. Week 11, they come out of the bye with a home game against the Vegas Raiders in week 11, which they will cruise to a 27-17 victory over Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. 7-3 after 11 weeks, they will go to New York to face the Jets. As mentioned with the Bills, I think they split home and home with both of those teams. Roger has them losing 23-17 defensive struggle in week 12 to the Jets, moving to 7-4 on the season. I probably agree with Roger in that case as far as the script for November here. 1-2 in November with the bye week. I could see them losing to the Chiefs, as probably anybody in this world with the brain could. I could see them losing at the Jets as well, as anyone with the brain in this world could. Depending injury, depending how Rodgers is flowing at that point as well. Maybe Rodgers is already retired at that point. Who knows? 1-2 in November, I'd probably agree. However, I could see 2-1 depending how that Jets game goes. I think they lose to the Chiefs regardless. Sorry, Nate, but the Chiefs are just that much levels above everybody else. 7-4 after 12 weeks, 7-4 after 3 months of the season. December starts with a visit to Washington and the football team, where Miami will cruise to a 31-10 biggest blowout victory of the year for Miami. 31-10, 3 passing touchdowns for Tua, mixed with 1 rushing Tua touchdown as well, all 4 on Tua's being. 8-4 after 13 weeks. Week 14, they return home to face the Tennessee Titans. Well, they will yet again double up the Titans here. Second biggest blowout win this year. They will double up the Titans in week 14, winning by 14, 28-14 final score. 9-4, your Miami Dolphins will be, according to Roger Goodell, after 14 weeks. Week 15, they will be at home against the New York Jets, where they will win an overtime game, 27-24, off an Aaron Rodgers interception at midfield by Jalen Ramsey, returned into field goal range, walk-off field goal for Miami in overtime. Wow. Talk about a thriller, talk about a storyline in that game. Week 16, we see the Dallas Cowboys come down to Miami, and we see the Dallas Cowboys take down the Miami Dolphins. Sorry, Nate. Roger Goodell has to agree with me, and he does agree with me. 27-23 in week 16. Merry Christmas, Seabass. Cowboys will beat Miami in Miami on Christmas Eve this year. 10-5 after 16 weeks. We see the Dolphins back-to-back revenge games, back-to-back rivalry weeks for our podcast. Me and Nate battle week 16. Nate and Sage battle week 17. Miami on New Year's Eve will be traveling to Baltimore. And happy New Year's. Nate and the Miami Dolphins. Well, they will take on the Ravens and end the Ravens with a 31-23 final score. Big shootout, big second half performance from both teams here. Miami Dolphins 11-5 after December, going 4-1 in December. Only losses on Christmas Eve to my Dallas Cowboys. I probably agree with that. You could argue the Ravens game in Baltimore. You could argue the home game against the Jets as the two games that are kind of up in the air, if you want to argue that. I think they beat the Titans soundly. I think they beat the football team soundly. I agree with Roger on those two games. I could see 4-1. I could see 3-2, depending how one of those Ravens or Jets games go, or even 5-0 if they beat the Cowboys. I could see that as well. December Cowboys are a thing. And being a Cowboy fan, being let down all the time, it would be just prime of them to let me down on Christmas Eve. Would not be the biggest shock in the world. However, Roger has the Cowboys blessing me with a Merry Christmas. 11-5 after December, Week 18 game. They host the Buffalo Bills, where they will beat the Buffalo Bills in Week 18 at home, 27-20, where they will be unable to take over the division due to the tiebreaker situation going to Buffalo. However, they will finish 12-5 record, 4-2 in the division, sweeping the Patriots and then splitting with both the Bills and the Jets, finishing as the 5 seed in the AFC, finishing with 0 NFL award honors as far as players go. And that is your Miami Dolphins script for the 2023-2024 season, according to Roger Goodell in the NFL. Do you agree with Roger in the 12-5? Do you agree with me in the 11-6 or 13-4? Let us know down below. What do you think the Dolphins are going to do this year? Do you think the NFL script got it right or not? Let us know, and we'll see you guys in the next video.